Start recording. Someone. All right. And start stream. Sound check. Everyone, well, you got to talk normally. Don't talk quietly.
I'm talking longer. 1, 2.
Hello.
Well, you're quiet. You're quiet then.
You're a whore.
No, I got it. I got it. Perfect. Everyone's here.
Alright, I gotta make sure I host you. I gotta set up my auto host. I don't have to do this every fucking week. Just this one.
What game are you playing?
No, I'm not playing a game. I said I gotta set up my auto host so when you live stream, it automatically hosts you instead of me having to do it every week.
Oh.
Where I have to go to my thing and go /host.
I have no idea what any of that means, but yes.
It means on my channel, people can see you streaming.
Oh, cool.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're awesome. So I'm hoping the sound's good.
Sounded good on my.
I just got in to hear the thank you.
Yay!
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right.
You always forget the E in my name.
I do. The Villains Talk Show.
There's a reason that it's there, John. It's unique because I misspelled it.
John, you forgot the E in my name too.
With me,
you're not even on the list.
Sarah Vike.
You don't even have Caden on the list.
Insanieac and Jeremy. And we'll add it right now. Caden.
Spell my name right, sir.
It's too late for that.
It is important. It's for my
so close.
People are gonna look up. What if there's a dude that actually has that name and you're sending people to the wrong profile, you dick?
Oh, okay.
Oh. Because I know somebody does have that name. I don't know if they're a streamer, but I know somebody uses my real, properly spelled username. I tried one day to get it back, and I'm like, oh shit, somebody else has it.
Where's the E go at the very end?
It's between I and A.
D-E-N.
Oh yeah, for Kate as well. That's both his name. But for me, it's it is between I and A. You wanted to spell my name like you would normally Caden's, and you just want to spell.
Wow,
John.
That was so imperative. Thank you for
John.
everything.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah.
Still spell Caden's name wrong.
I'm kind of hurt. I'll be honest.
Anyway,
A-E.
Great. I can.
No, you're
fix
A
it
before
later.
E except after C, John. Come on.
Before E, except after E.
You know,
You? After who?
sometimes you can just.
Don't you just love having us in your stream, John? This is exactly what we're here for.
To show how much. Anyway, today,
Changing topics really quickly.
as quickly as I can. I thought because it's Halloween, we'd talk about past Halloweens.
Oh, what a twist.
I know.
I thought we would talk about Christmas.
I mean, that would be actually pretty funny. Talk about Christmases past.
Yeah,
That would make me laugh.
I mean, isn't there only ever a Christmas past? There isn't really a Christmas's future until it happens.
I mean,
there is.
tell that to Ebenezer
Well,
Scrooge.
because we don't know
Exactly,
that.
Andrew.
We don't know if there's a Christmas future.
Andrew, why are you?
I mean, you can understand that there'll probably be a Christmas next year. So there's a Christmas, or this year. So that's
Probably.
a Christmas of future. Yeah, there's a Christmas
I mean,
of this future.
You're really hoping so, John, but who knows?
I mean,
Who really knows, John? Tell me about it.
you tell me.
This is our topic of the day. Predictions of Christmas. John, can you make them?
I know there'll be a Hanukkah, so I can stand by that.
Will there be a
I like
Thanksgiving
it.
this year?
Probably. Maybe not. If there's not a Christmas...
Thanksgiving.
See, we could have a Thanksgiving but not have a Christmas.
Well, ridiculous. We don't care about them.
Oh, don't say that.
Well,
Thanksgiving.
Careful.
Don't say that.
A lot of people angry.
Yeah, Sarah.
This isn't your Twitch account, Sarah. Don't you say that.
You just lit the entire net on fire. You don't care about America?
Not their weird backwards Thanksgiving in November.
Where did our Thanksgiving even come from? That being said, man, Christmas is of the future. I just want
World peace.
Oh God, no! That's not fun.
Merry Christmas.
Are you kidding me? That would. Anyway, back on somewhat of a topic. Yeah, okay. No, I thought we could all just talk about yes, Americans are rabble. Thank you.
I was trying to go rebel. The chat kind of stopped me from spamming.
But I thought we could talk about Halloween's from our childhood and up and how it kind of changes. And because there's not really going to be much of Halloween this year. So
for me, the one thing that changed the most with Halloween was the damn weather. Being a Canadian. It used to be, so nice and warm on Halloween when I was a kid. And you could go out wearing, whatever. And then when I was, 10, and fucking Alberta, man, in the 2000s, October was nice during Halloween.
I think you are hallucinating.
I am not. I also was not a baby to the cold. I loved the winter.
He's got a point.
You're right.
I used to roll in snow for fun, just on a side note, so the cold didn't bother me. Maybe I'm just
okay, also.
That could have been a factor. But for me, as time went on, I started having to wear. I mean, I didn't have to wear, a tutu or a dress, so it probably wasn't as cold. I was normally wearing,
there is that.
But I mean, there were some Halloweens when I was young, when I was 4 or 5, where I remember the only kind of costume I wore was literally
your face,
a face, because it was just full snowsuit, because it was minus 30 and you're still trick-or-treating. So I mean,
see, but that didn't happen to me until I was in my teens sorts. But by then, when I had to do that, where it was I had to just wear a mask, I used to go to different places. I used to go to more than one house multiple times with different masks. And one time's just wearing a coat or not wearing a coat, or wearing a different coat or a sweater.
I was not allowed to trick-or-treat as a child.
Yeah, I imagine. Worship Satan.
Why? Oh, well.
Yeah.
I think I know why Jeremy wasn't. But if you want to share, please go ahead, because that sucks. Trick-or-treating was the damn best.
It was.
It was the best time.
I was one of the few kids that would stay out past midnight.
When I was a kid, I went to a church that was actually, it met in a center. And so they actually used Halloween as an opportunity to do a community outreach through a giant party. And so everyone would dress up, you would come, you would get tons of candy, you would be fed candy all night, and then you'd take home a big bag with you as well at the end. And there were bouncy houses and games and snacks and treats, friends, and it was so much fun. I honestly, I was not allowed to, but I look back on my Halloweens as the best.
That's one hell of a trade-off.
That's very interesting. It's different.
You have to go out in the cold.
Yeah,
instead of going out trick-or-treating, it's
running around.
It's like a kid's wet dream. You either get to spend one night in Wonderland or go out with your friends and trick-or-treat. But
amazing.
At the same time,
when you turn 20, that's kind of what people do anyways. But your Wonderland is a bunch of bottles of booze.
But I remember some of my greatest and most fun nights were running around on Halloween. Some of the things me and my friends ended up doing, even though some of it was ridiculous. Yeah. Especially as a teenager. Halloween was one of those nights.
Trolling other people's houses or scaring people or
Well, I mean, it was one of those nights for me too. It was just all in one place, but it was so much fun.
I only got to do that when I did the 30-hour cram at my school. I had to sit in a room for a day in the gym, and all we did was watch.
I did that once, but we did not sit in a room for.
It was pretty boring.
What's the point of just sitting in a room and just fasting? It
Yeah,
sounds
I don't know.
like, why wouldn't you just be able to like go do what you want? Or they don't
We played, like,
trust
some
you?
games and stuff, but it was like, yeah, we sat inside of. Well, no, we were expected to do sometime of fasting in the school and sometime at home.
They
We
just
just had school during our 30-hour famine. Like part of it was just a school day.
that just
We did, like, have
sounds.
an
For us, we
evening
just
thing
hung out.
to
We
watch
hung out at
stuff.
the school for like a weekend. Either like hung out in the gym, or you got to watch movies. You pretty much did stuff you do at home, unless you want to hang out in the gym.
I mean, I think ours was a Thursday, Friday.
That just sounds like a
Yeah,
horror story.
Friday to
It was
school,
pretty
and then
It
boring.
really does.
Friday
I don't
evening,
know
Saturday
why.
school.
Thank God.
Because you thought you were doing something helpful, but you were being played by the school because we were dumb kids.
As soon as you
know.
said school and weekend, I'd be just no.
I never did, except for this one time. And yeah, no, I see why I never did again afterwards. And this was when I was like 16. Or no, wait, no, 14. 14. Anyways, Halloween's.
Yeah, back to Halloween's. So Sarah had
Halloween's.
great, and then I don't think Jeremy had Halloween's.
Nope. Well, we did, but we didn't. It was kind of like a family day, kind of like what Sarah did with her church, but with just our family. Go like
That'd be fun.
bowling or go to the wave pool. Wave pools actually be pretty fun.
I can imagine. A lot of leisure plays it probably would be. Let's see. I used to trick or treat from like gas stations and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they'd give me candy.
Huh. That's.
Yeah.
I've trick or treated as an adult.
Probably because they
That's
saw
sad.
you and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so sad. Look at this kid coming to a gas station to get candy. He must have no houses nearby, and he must have horrible parents.
Yeah,
just give him a chocolate bar."
That's fine. It was the best shit, dude. That was the point. Me and my friend,
As
like,
an
it wasn't just
adult.
me, dude. And I know how it sounds. Yeah.
Oh, you're by yourself too? That's even
No, it was,
better.
no, it was me and a buddy. Me and another buddy. Yeah.
It's almost genius.
Sad though.
It's so sad.
I mean, I didn't go there because I had nowhere else to go. I went there because I went there with the purpose in mind of getting shit. So I mean, that's what a gas station's kind of for.
I know, but imagine being the gas person. Just
What a
seeing
twist!
this.
I went to the gas station to get things. Oh. Yeah,
Just
they're
gonna
just-
give it to me for free.
Shocking and appalling.
I mean, it's not opposed to the other times when I stole it as a kid. I was a shoplifter at fucking 7-Eleven all the time. I walked out of there with lots of shit. Don't do that, kids. Not good.
It's not good.
What?
for you.
Shoplifting is
But I did
bad.
get caught for a long time.
But what if it's looting? You know? What if it's
Looting is
looting?
also
And,
bad.
That
Looting is also bad.
even if it's in
That's
revenge?
chances
I was gonna say it
lead
depends
to
on the
the looting.
and the context, but for the most
Even
part,
if
I'd
it's
say okay.
revenge for the.
That's probably
Never mind.
No. All forms of looting are bad.
Yeah, I'm with Jeremy on this one.
I mean, revenge.
There's a reason it's
Well,
called looting. No. You take your shit home. All forms of looting are bad.
I'm not so sure.
Well,
I'm with Jeremy.
me and my
Maybe not.
friends, we had we
What
lived
about
in
when you fucking conquer the boss, bro? You gotta get the loot,
we lived in
Exactly.
I don't fight a
Come
lot of
on.
bosses in my day-to-day life.
dude. What's wrong?
I don't want to point out who the boss would be in that situation. That's bad.
But when me and my friends trick or treated for like my whole
I gotta fight. I gotta fight with the boss.
like we lived in core, like right in the downtown core, and like where all the houses are. So there was literally like about 400 houses, including a whole line of like
Wow.
multi-million-dollar houses right on a ridge, and we'd literally start at like 6 o'clock at the bottom by the river and go all the way up, and we'd all carry like 4 bags, and we'd go to hit every single house, and we would always do it. And like I'd literally come home with like 4 bags of candy, and there was like when we were like a pack of like, you know, about 40 or 50 kids.
Wow.
And like we went and we traveled as one giant group,
40 or 50,
because we all like
around the
because
casual number.
the three junior highs.
As you do.
Well, there was 3 junior highs all within 5 blocks of each other, so we all knew each other, and like we all hung out, like we all knew each other,
You know,
so
I
we'd
just
all
imagine
trick or
that.
treat together.
I just imagine your neighborhood or that neighborhood. Every Halloween is like, they're coming. And just 50 students stomping down the highways, like pounding on everybody's doors and shit. Like,
And we'd come at
oh
one
my
time.
God.
So like, wait. So one time,
Halloween.
one of our best Halloween costumes is
They've come.
all of us were boxes. Nothing on him, just boxes with little slits. So we'd go up as like 40 boxes on someone's porch, ring the doorbell, and just plant. And then when they'd open the door and look, we'd all open our little flaps and just sit there. It's just
That's hilarious.
was one of the best Halloweens ever. Everyone was a box.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Don't do small stuff. No one's gonna see you.
You imagine opening the door and it's just 40 boxes all sitting on your front lawn. They all open.
That's nowadays we would call that an
Where's
Amazon.
the, I was like, where did the Amazon truck go?
Where's the truck go?
That's so funny. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was back when Halloween was wholesome. And then as you grow up, it gets more and more worse connotations.
I mean, as I got older, people were just like, aren't you a little old to go trick or treating? Like, fuck off.
No.
Like,
You never
13.
I stopped at 21.
I think I went for the first time at what?
I stopped at
I knew someone
19.
who had a baby.
I think I was like, what moved away?
My one friend who was Jehovah's Witness, he was 21 and we were both 21 living together, and he told me he never trick or treated because of
Yeah, so it's,
so I
For
I
some
I-
reason, they don't.
so we dressed up and went trick or treating, and every time they asked us that question, I just told them we just told them what happened, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just taking them trick or treating. I know we're old, and he got so much candy. Like I didn't go with a bag. I just went with them, but
Yeah.
like they gave him so much candy. It was kind of hilarious.
That's awesome. Man.
Yeah, when I was about 20 or I took proceedings. It was fun.
You're
My
cutting
mom
out a
told me
bit.
let me eat all the baby's candy.
You have to tell that all again. You cut out half the story.
Unfortunately.
When I was, I mean now,
It's still a little cutty.
don't know what to do about that.
Connection? How's your connection?
I don't.
Your internet.
Yes, the internets.
So
You know, the bars on your doesn't look like you have good bars.
yes, I do.
It's just trying to set up the speaker all over again.
It's okay. I just won't tell my story.
You're good now. No, you're good now.
Yeah, I think you're good now.
Oh, okay. So when I was like 20 or 21, I took someone went trick or treating for the first time, and that was super fun. Mom let me eat all the candy, so that was great.
Nice.
Yes, it was wonderful.
What about you, Caden? Or Kadan? Actually, it would be
So-
Keaden the way I spelt it.
Yeah, it would be.
Keaden. How about
Yeah,
you,
Dad.
Keaden?
Well, you see, I grew up in a small suburb called Fonda.
I'm sorry?
Fonda,
In Fonda.
James Fonda?
So like
Where?
I don't know where this is. I'm just
Yeah, where is that?
it's like right by Mugro.
Oh,
I lived there for a bit and I never even heard of that neighborhood.
What?
Yeah, it's
Where?
It's like a Forest Lawn,
Oh.
Marlboro,
What?
all that
Oh.
kind of area.
I still never heard of that. I lived there for so long.
The lawn. You're up by the lawn.
I was like,
Yeah.
I kept one, like, but I don't know.
Could have just said that.
No, like it's right between Forest Lawn, Marlboro, and I can't think of the other one. Like right by 17.
That would be
Temple's on to the east.
Dover?
Or to the north, sorry.
no. Dover's a bit more south.
No, Dover's beside Marlborough. It's usually Dover. It's usually Marlborough, Dover, Forest Lawn.
Yeah, Dover's like, because remember where I used to live? That was Dover Glen. We were just on the edge.
Yeah. So it was right between all of those like areas.
That's not specific at all, but okay.
You weren't in the trailer park, were you?
No.
That was Forest Lawn.
Yeah, that's Forest Lawn.
Well, it depends which one. There's a few. Calgary, everybody. Trailer parks and mass suburbs.
Everywhere has them, I think.
Yeah,
Not really. Most cities do, but not like as prevalent
Halloween.
as we do.
I think now here's the thing though, is we got rid of like 3 and we still have like a double digit, I think.
I think we have like 13 or 14 still.
That's why they call it Little Texas.
Halloween.
Instead of trick-or-treating in that area, because my family thought it was dangerous. We ended up going to like... We ended up like in Rundle or Temple.
Oh, you were one of
like
those kids.
Yeah, we didn't trick-or-treat in that area at all.
That's fair.
Those
Yeah.
we always wondered. We always thought about.
We didn't drive. We just drove to like a random area.
Huntington's
And then
like 2
trick-or-treated
blocks from
there.
where I used
So-
to live. I lived in Beddington and Huntington. That's my area. I grew up in.
I used to go to Beddington.
Well,
Paddington was also really nice.
in Mount Pleasant, where I'm from,
We were lower middle class, even though we were poor.
when
Exactly.
I was right by all the schools over there.
yeah, I was in Mount Pleasant, Sunnyside, and Rosedale, Crescent, that whole area, just mass housing, so many houses.
But yeah, all for like the first 5-6 Halloweens of my life, we would go to random neighborhoods and just trick or treat there instead. And then after that, we moved into like, I think it was Applewood.
So you were an invader. You would invade and try to take the candy from other kids.
I would,
Exactly.
after I finished my neighborhood, I would invade other neighborhoods too. Every year.
Yeah.
The secret
I would
candy
go-
wars of
I would go to
Halloween.
Beddington. I'd go to Beddington, and then I'd go to the really north, like nice neighborhoods. I can't remember. There's like
That's a great idea for a game.
It
It's
is.
like you're a kid faction defending your housing area from trick-or-treaters. You're invading their lines to trick-or-treat at their houses.
Sounds like a one-shot,
I think
Jeremy?
it was like fuck.
Wait, here's the real question. Who here truly only took one from the candy bowl that says take one, please?
No.
Who here? Fess up.
No. I did, of course.
I never
one
took just
handful.
I never took a lot. I took like a couple.
Oh, you guys are pussies. That
I
was
took a none from those bowls.
okay.
I
So
wouldn't-
I mean, I came in blocks where they didn't have that bowl. So.
wait.
It would depend on like what time of the night it was. If I came across that shit in the late of night, yeah, I'm taking the whole.
So
Yeah.
imagine 40 to 50 kids, and you're walking down the street, and you see one of those. You know what that means?
Oh.
Is it's a full-on sprint to who gets there first, because they're dumping the whole thing of that shit into their bag.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
That was one of the
Win
most
the races.
fun, especially being a bigger kid. Is it didn't matter if I got there first. All I needed to do was get to a full sprint and just run into all of them, and I could grab it and put it all into my bag.
Oh my goodness.
Halloween was the best for that.
Yeah.
But imagine, like, we saw it sometimes, like, people would look out their front, because we'd run across yards, and we'd just be booking it towards these. So slowly in our neighborhoods that we trick-or-treated over the years, those kind of slowly disappeared.
Yeah, no kidding.
I wonder why.
I think I can
I
understand.
can't see any reasons why.
But that was always... And then there was routes. So like we would have routes that we'd plan because certain houses would always give the same thing. So like there was 2 houses that would always give pop. So we'd try to hit those houses at certain times so that we'd get something to drink while we're going. Like I'm not even kidding. And like then like we knew we'd want to hit.
You guys took it to like the South Park level where Cartman's planning out like.
Dude, it's so true. It's why
you come over here, and you and Stan and Kyle, you guys get to go up this road.
Well, no, we'd all go together, but this is how we'd go, right? So like we knew that we'd hit, and we also knew because here's the thing about all the rich people's houses, people would come in all the time and trick or treat there, so we'd always try to hit them early, so that we wouldn't have to deal with tons of kids everywhere.
Tons of kids everywhere.
Also, we had to
only a small battalion of
just
40.
not the 40. Yeah, you're rolling with. That's
exactly. But you have to plan for that logistic.
One legion worrying about another.
Exactly.
Wow.
But I'm not even kidding. Like that was some of the best times. Like just planning an entire.
I've never had that much thought and detail into Halloween. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe with my costume, but like into where I'm going, that was my parents' jokes. I'm gonna be honest.
Once I got into my teen years, I was smart enough to get multiple costumes and just go over and over again.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh wow!
I would end up with like 5 or 6
see.
bags.
I'd be wearing a makeup costume, and then I'd have over top like a mask costume, and then multiple layers of that costume, and I would just take them off and go back to the same place.
I would end up with like 5 or 6 bags.
You just have paper bags and change it.
No, I never changed my bag.
Have like just walk with a bag and coat hangers, find a house that gives good candy, and then just hide behind a bush, change a jacket, put on a new mask, go back, new jacket, new masks. Just do it like 20 times.
The only time I didn't go back was if they're like, "Oh, you sound familiar," and I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." Like
you just have to get a treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat.
I would go super low for the first time.
That's too funny.
And then eventually I picked up like a voice changer.
Oh, wow. That makes it easier.
It really did.
Do you still have it? Because that would be amazing.
I do not. I lost
Changing
it in
your
one
voice.
of my 2 moves in the last year.
But yeah, no, like the more I think about it, like it didn't seem like a lot of planning because we just pretty much just said there was a lot of us and we had to get to certain places at certain times or else like it'd be either packed or we didn't think that because like we lived in our neighborhoods enough that we knew where kids would go the most and a lot of kids would drive in. Like it's one of those it's one of
the electric scooters.
It's the invaders.
I'm sure nowadays. Can you imagine that now? Like if Halloween was as it was supposed to be.
It would be mobile.
Yeah, everyone would be on scooters.
Have like 40 of them on limes.
40 on birds, and they're fighting for turkey.
Flying in formation.
You'd have like 4 dudes like driving with little scooters dragging a whole like cart behind them. So like just load up the whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
Like yeah.
The collective.
And you have the people. You have people get like segways instead just to be faster.
Yeah.
To look cool and get more.
No one looks cool on a Segway.
Around here, I couldn't fucking believe it.
I've seen people on Segways here.
I didn't say that you don't see them. I just said no one looks cool on a Segway.
You hear a knock on your door, you open it up, and all you hear is the whirring of blades as a drone stares you in the face.
with like a hanging plastic mask of like Captain America.
Yeah, it's a real light the trick or treat.
Oh my god, it's the Avengers!
Match for this year. That seems like something a lot of kids eventually.
No, this year's the candy slides.
Yeah, I've seen the candy tubes, but like eventually the
what's more practical, candy slides or drones?
Drones, obviously.
Drones, but
everyone's gonna live vicariously through their drone. No one will leave their house. It'll be like the Pulse 2, a mix between Pulse 2 and Skyline.
Kids know how to fucking roll around and get
Well, there'll be traffic. You'll have air traffic control.
It'll become a mix between Pulse 2 and fucking just Terminator, except no one will be replaced. Everyone will just be stuck in their house using a drone to fly around. And it won't be because of cyber ghosts. It'll just be because of actual germ-killing people.
Oh, you hear from different neighborhoods. I'm tired now. Just this roaming buzz that just rolls through the
gang wars become people going out and just shooting down drones of other gangs. So they stop.
Candy. Other kids are going to roll around and beat, like the older kids will roll around with baseball bats, beat the shit out of the drones, and steal people's candy.
No, you have to remember the bikes. The bikes are the important part there. That way they get the reach.
No, man, drone has anti-baseball bat defense. You just fly out of their reach.
I mean, that doesn't mean they're not going to try.
Yeah.
Right? But that's where the bullies have to get creative and start actually, like, literally shooting
from behind.
My God, slingshots are going to become back in. Slingshots will come back. The resurgence
really creative kids you get a hold of fireworks.
Yeah. Fireworks are easy to get a hold of, though.
Using fucking Roman candles.
Not saying how, because we don't want people getting illegal fireworks. But they're not that hard to acquire nowadays.
Only legal fireworks.
If you really look for them, yeah.
Fireworks are legal.
You don't have to try.
Provinces.
Just got to know where to look.
Fireworks are legal outside of the city. It's only permitted by bylaw.
Exactly.
I know where to get fireworks.
I know where to get fireworks.
I do too.
Legally.
Yes, I also know where to get them legally.
Yes.
I mean...
legally.
I actually know where to get them legally, so...
Yeah, if you're willing to go for the drive, you can get them legally. It's not that...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's not that hard at all.
It's not like the States where you can buy, like...
middle of highways.
Close to dynamite fireworks.
Any gas station in BC.
Oh, yeah. 100% there.
It's not like the States, though, where you can pretty much buy what's pretty close to dynamite as your...
Yeah, no.
Like, seriously.
If you're not careful, you can lose a fucking hand if you're stupid.
Or start a fire that's ravaging across Southern California.
Whoa. That's... Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Not Halloween.
Did you see the explosion? Did you watch the video of the explosion? I'm sure if that was around you, that would blow off your hand, because that's quite the powerful explosion. Damn right. But yeah, what about you, Caden? Tell us about your Halloween experience other than driving in. Okay, let's go this way then. Worst costume to best costume.
Worst costume. Okay, so I was, like I said, 19 was my cutoff. That year.
And then you cut off.
As a sexy ghost.
Oh boy, how do you do a sexy ghost?
I was gonna say I'm intrigued. I want to.
Yeah, I've suddenly become intrigued.
You know, like the classic ghost costume with the sheet.
No.
Yeah. Is it nice and short?
No, you just throw on like a bikini on top.
Oh my goodness.
And it was sexy ghost.
That's hilarious.
What about you guys?
I was usually just a princess. I enjoyed being a princess.
That says a lot about your character, Sarah.
It does, doesn't it? My name means princess. Sarah means princess, so... Yeah.
But it also spells harass backwards.
Not quite. That's not exactly how you spell it.
One is a Grim Reaper.
And what was your worst costume?
Sexy ghost.
I don't think I did sexy ghost. Probably the time when I did all the multiple costumes, because they weren't very good. It was just a mask. And then I had I think it was vampire face makeup or something.
Mm-hmm.
and like a weird like suit shirt underneath. So I would just like zip up the sweater over the suit and then put a face mask on.
When I was in kindergarten, so I was 5. We dressed up for Halloween because we were 5. You know, that's what you do. And my mom made me. She actually like went through and like painstakingly handmade me this adorable lion costume with a headpiece with a mane and a cute little tail that pinned onto my pants, and it was so cute. And I got to school, and there was this other boy dressed as a lion, and he made fun of me because I wasn't a very good lion. He said because I didn't have claws.
Oh, I was a lion
once
too.
I said, well, not all lions
damn
have to have
kids,
claws.
damn angry kids.
Here, wait. I said, not all lions have to have claws. I'm really happy with my costume. And then he called me racist because he was black. I did not know.
I mean,
I
that's
was
fair.
5 years old and did not know what that word meant.
You're like, wait a second, what's happening?
Yeah.
Wow. I think I was a lion in grade 1.
Well, that took a turn.
And that's how I learned what racism was.
Wow. What an educational Halloween for you. You learn about racism by being a lion. Yeah, Sarah. God.
How not having claws makes you a racist.
I will be honest, one of the better costumes was, like, I was 15 or 16. We had full chainmail because my dad collects stuff like that.
That's cool.
So I went out in full chainmail and like an actual sword on my hip.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's pretty cool. The best costume I ever had, I guess it's kind of a tie. I went as Thor one year. I had a helmet and an actual like sledgehammer I brought around and a full suit.
Okay.
And then the one when I was a kid, I guess, my mom made a Batman, literally made an entire Batman costume for me. It was one of the few things she actually sewed. That was pretty cool. But I'd still say my favorite one was the box one. Just all my friends dressing up as just straight up boxes. It was honestly, like,
I mean,
it wasn't just one, like, because it was a shared costume. It's like we had the best reactions ever. Like, one guy thought that someone literally just put boxes all over his front lawn. And then when we all opened, we almost did it in unison, I guess. And the guy just fucking freaked. And that was one of my favorite costumes. One of my worst costumes was name any day it was minus 40 because I just went out in a winter jacket. Like, I said, fuck looking like the part. I'm just wearing a winter coat and like a mask, and then that's good.
What are you dressed as? Someone who's fucking warm.
I think one time when I was like, I think one time I responded like, "What are you dressed as?" I'm like, someone who's just super damn cold. Please give me candy. It was good.
I mean, you have to remember the Canadian classic, the sexiest snowsuit.
I had somebody.
When you put a bikini over a snowsuit.
Yeah,
exactly.
I had this. What's the oddest thing you received? One time, I got from this
full blown penis.
What?
Some guy had a full blow up, like he was literally a giant penis costume, and it was in high school, and he didn't go to class all day. He just ran around the school, running away from the principal, the vice principal, and the cop as this giant blow up penis.
It was from your candy and your shit. Something you got from the people you got. Yeah.
Oh, weirdest candy. Oh, I'll go to that in a second. But weirdest costume I ever seen. And funniest thing, and if you know my high school set up, in the cafeteria, there's up windows to the second level, so you can see like the hallway in the second area. And we'd be sitting in the lunchroom and look up and just see this guy in the blow up penis running through the hallway, and behind him is the principal and the vice principal and the cop. And they eventually caught him at like 1 p.m, but for like the entire morning he was running around blow up penis.
You used to talk about some dick, didn't you?
Anyway,
I was talking about like weird things you got from my house, like a candy.
Oh, I got $5.
I was trying to say I got a tomato once.
I got $20 once. Actually, I got $20 last year.
what?
But it was for a food bank.
I meant weird as in like not good. Like
Who here actually gave their UNICEF boxes back?
Yo, what?
Who here actually gave their UNICEF boxes back?
What's a UNICEF box?
Not this guy.
Well, UNICEF is an organization that helps with like poverty in third world countries.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know what John's talking about.
Every year they send you out.
No, it doesn't. Don't tell her. Save her the pain. Save her the pain.
And
you're like, oh, can I have like money for UNICEF?
While you're getting trick-or-treats, yeah.
I never.
That's like.
Yeah, but the church I go to now does the youth group does a food drive every Halloween.
That was like $20
for Christmas time. It's great.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the weirdest thing I ever got from a house. Well, this is kind of a double-edged sword, but the weirdest thing I got from a house is this guy was giving out candy, like I guess like gum, and there was literally like shards of glass in the gum, and he got arrested.
I mean, I heard a story like that.
Like
that's horrifying.
and so like I remember finding this plastic of Hubba Bubba, and you could see like a break in it. I was like, "Huh, what that is?" And I broke open it, and I looked inside, and it was just like, you know, those single packs. And there's like I was looking, I was like, that's a piece of glass. And like he was like sticking nails through candy and stuff. Like this guy was crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, I never experienced anything like that, but I meant like yeah, exactly. Like things that you got pull out of your bag and you're like, what the fuck is that? You're like, why did I get that?
I still think floss and a toothbrush was it.
That's weird.
Like I get an unopened pack, like a toothbrush, like an unopened toothbrush, and a small packet of floss.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah.
People telling you to brush your damn teeth on Halloween.
That's not too weird, but that's still pretty weird.
Let's see. Ooh. When I was 16, I went and trick-or-treated an obvious party. Like, just a bunch of people fucking partying. And I went and trick-or-treated it. And they gave me a Mickey of Jack Daniels.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
I take it.
I did take it. It was just a...
Alright, yeah.
I called up my buddy and I was like, I just got a Mickey. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, I did.
That's fair. That's fucking dope.
Yep. Other than that, just, you know what?
Yeah, I think for me, like,
I guess
the other shit that was always cool was like just getting those like the full like big ass fucking candies and stuff.
Okay.
Sad. Like,
On the opposite of what Andrew asked, how about the absolute best thing? Other than giant candy bars, obviously.
Yeah. That was my shit.
So there was this one lady, and every year she had literally a giant cauldron. It was like 16 gallons. And she'd make apple cider with like wine and a kind of rum. And she was super old, and she never really cared.
You're giving wine and rum to someone?
Well, she couldn't tell your age.
Yeah.
So, and she'd only give you a small bit, but she wouldn't give it to young kids, obviously. But once we were old enough, like once we were like 16, 17, she'd start giving us glasses. And that was the best thing. It was the best. When my dad went trick-or-treating with us when we were younger, he'd always go by this house so we could get a glass of it. Like, it was pretty much, it was the adult stop that eventually we got allowed to go to, which was the best. That always made me happy. Fucking delicious too.
For me, I'd say it was the 1 year we did a church thing instead of going trick-or-treating because it was too cold.
so good about it?
Giant bag of candy at the end.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Where was that, Jaden?
That is a good question. I think it was the church in Forest Lawn, or one of them. Oh, it was the one right by Barlow Maxwell. Or not Barlow Maxwell.
Stop eating your microphone, please.
You're
deep throating it.
I can go lower.
I really appreciate it if you did.
Stop.
You crazy Christians and your Halloweens.
But that's the funny thing. We weren't Christian. We just ended up going.
Well, I mean, that's why my church did it, so that other people would come.
We never went back.
Okay.
I think the only time I ever ended up at a church.
Let me take your hopes and dash them asunder.
I don't. I think the goal was more like a safe, fun place for kids to hang out. So
Halloween was always safe. It was all the drugs and alcohol you just had to worry about.
Exactly.
Nothing bad.
And all the drugs you didn't get in your
all the edibles. Candy. Yeah, man, I got so many edibles in my candy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think they all with my dad though.
I mean,
the rich stoner neighborhood.
I wish.
Full bars of like edible candy bars.
I wish. That would be the best.
That would be fucking cool. They'd have a lineup.
But it would never happen because then it would be seen as giving drugs to kids.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
unless you ID'd at the door
every time. This is the new adult Halloween.
Yep. And you give up booze. But again,
booze and edibles.
I think they just call that clubbing.
No, man.
No.
They're not doing anything.
It's not for free.
And they're not staying there. They're giving them shit, and then they leave.
I do not advocate giving children alcohol or drugs.
That's what we're not. I said
I think they are, Sarah. You should.
I said above 18. You ID at the door.
Oh yeah, but have you heard of fake IDs?
That's not my problem.
Well,
they're smart enough to get a fake ID.
According to Alberta law, it is your problem.
I mean, I can look at an ID, and if it's fake, I'll But at the same time, I can't go out there and be like, kids, stop buying fake IDs. Like they're gonna listen to me.
How do you know they won't? I thought you were a voice of your generation.
Because maybe of mine, but like, there's a lot of different generations.
I thought you're young and hip.
True.
I mean,
look, you spell your name with an E. It's so crazy. I mean, you push it so hard. It's just.
I do. I push it to the limit.
I know. So I imagine that you're at the cusp. You're at the absolute cusp.
No, I'm at the point of no return, John.
Exactly. You're so far in.
No return.
Like there's that you don't follow fads. Fads follow you. I get it. Soon everyone will be putting
drinking coffee before it was cool. That's how you burnt your lip, right?
That's me.
I was the guy.
I survive on that shit.
Yeah, you really do.
So do I.
I mean,
Speaking
that's part
of
the
which,
industry. Let's be honest.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was taking a drink of my coffee. Silence.
The last time I got drunk enough to throw up was on Halloween. That was like you.
Yes, the party Halloweens. Moving into the later years.
Those are always fun. Unless you're working.
When you hit your 20s.
I have never had a Halloween party.
I have
never
had
had
some...
a party for Halloween, and this year will be the...
I don't think I've ever...
I've been to some crazy ones. I mean...
I think I've been once or twice, but I never really... I don't think I
actually didn't have any friends in my early 20s.
I went to a crazy one where I did a bunch of acid with a buddy, and it was his girlfriend. It was her friends, and no offense to everyone there, but I was just out of my mind. And there was this girl who was really into me. Like really into me. And it's not that I wasn't into her. I was just, my mind was gone. And everyone was dressed up. And I'm trying to remember what I was dressed up as. But I had a pretty good costume that year. I just can't remember. But I ended up like Oh, I remember just doing my own thing, and I was the only one who answered the door to get the kids. So like I'd show up to the door and they'd be like trick or treat, and I'd be like, "Hello, kids! Happy Halloween! Here's your candy."
Oh,
See, I like that too. I did like staying home sometimes to actually stay home, like trick or treat shit.
I did this at a giant Halloween party that devolved. It devolved quickly. And being on acid, it was a lot more fun. And the best thing is like me because my buddy was on acid with me. Like his girlfriend was like, "Oh no, all that stuff was actually happening. You guys weren't that bad." And it's like, because like there was, that party was crazy, but at the same time disgusting.
Crazy. Bunch of wild and crazy guys.
My favorite Halloween as an adult so far, I'll be honest, was I had worked until around 9, and then I walked over to Booker's over on, like, right in downtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone was dressed up. It was nice. I got wasted. I don't remember the night after that.
I had to I had to do a Halloween about 4 or 5 years ago. Again, I did a bunch of acid, and it was just a party with friends. But that's not what mattered. Oh, hello! Thank you for the sub, Abyssal Torment. We're just talking about Halloweens from the past. And Kim Chilla, thank you for the follow.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
I think you can get some.
Yeah, we're just talking about Halloween's past, and we got 6 people watching. Holy Hera! Wow, that is
John. Just so you know, I'm pretty sure that's K Michael H.
K Michael H.
Yeah, because it's me.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, who would you work with?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
But
Andrew, it's our friend.
That's not fake.
No, it's our friend from Best Place Ever.
Again, not very like.
Who? It's under door number 3.
Captain Badass. I'm hoping in the flesh.
Yeah. See.
It's
no. It's not badass.
No, I don't know. I don't remember. Usernames are hard.
That's the point.
I'm trying to say it without saying the name.
You're giving like the most vaguest details possible.
You could almost just type it in Discord. You could almost just type it in Discord.
Locations.
Did he talk a lot?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
More than me.
Okay. That makes sense.
Does that answer the question?
It does.
Anyway, I was gonna say,
welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the follow.
I haven't been on in a while, so I've been doing this talk show for a bit.
Yeah.
I kind of just hopped in. Showed up off the streets.
Yeah. Seriously. Oh, I got completely derailed. But
Perfect.
Something about acid and Halloween.
Yes. Yeah. So the second time, another story where I did a bunch of. It wasn't even about the Halloween I was going to talk about. Leading up to it, I was working at a coffee shop, and we were asked by our manager if we wanted to do the setup, either like 2 weeks later, like the middle of November, or do it the day after Halloween. And my manager, her anniversary is Halloween, so she didn't want to do it, and I'm like. No, I'm seriously going to do a bunch of drugs that night. I really don't want to come into work the next day at 8 a.m. But the entire staff decided, hey, let's all vote to do it the day after Halloween. And so I went to my manager and I was completely honest. I said, I'm not changing my plans. I am still going to do all the acid I plan to do. And she's like, you know what, Jonathan? You do it. And so I did. I came into work. I was there at 8 o'clock. And all we did, she gave everyone tasks to set up for Christmas because major coffee chain, I won't say which. And she's just like, here, come with me. And we go down to the basement, and all I do for 8 hours is unpack things and throw up boxes. And I do it with her, and because she also still celebrated her anniversary, and it was the best. I mean, it was the worst because I was still fucking just wrecked. But all I did for 8 hours was sit in a basement storage room and just break down boxes and rearrange the shelves. And it was the best. Oh, I missed that store. I mean, I don't miss getting paid minimum wage and not being treated like a valued employee, but I definitely...
That doesn't happen here. Don't lie to me.
I definitely valued that. And her name, it's too bad. Everyone makes fun of her name.
Her name
now.
is It's Too Bad. Oh, okay.
I don't want to say it, but everyone...
That makes sense why people make fun of her name.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is like, yeah, I've had some fun Halloweens. I mean, it's kind of... If I'm sure I'd be doing something, because it'd be my 30th Halloween. I wanted to do... I mean, who didn't want to do a bunch of stuff this year? That's the question of the millennia. But yeah, I don't know. Adult Halloweens are definitely different than kid Halloweens.
I mean, that depends what you do. Because, let's be real, people still go trick-or-treating as adults. With or without kids.
Yeah.
You imagine, like, being so addicted to Halloween, you, like, rent kids to go trick-or-treating with?
It's questionable territory, I will be honest.
Take kid rentals, be like, pay a family $100 to have their kids for the night, and they're like, you get half the trick-or-treating proceeds, the other half goes to me.
I mean, that's not a bad business idea.
I mean, that would be fucking hilarious, is what that is.
But, like, you might want to do, like, police checks and stuff. It's like having a babysitter for Halloween.
Yeah.
No one ever does police checks on babysitters.
Having a dog walker for Halloween.
No, let's be honest. Kids are more like cats. You'd become a cat walker.
No.
That's absolutely amazing. Hire a dog walker. Put your kids on a leash. What are you doing to your kids? No, they're dressed up like dogs. It's fine. No, it's just the dog experience.
Okay. It's okay when it's a different story.
Exactly. If it's wholesome like Halloween.
There's only one time a year this happens.
Not every other day, I promise.
What about anyone have any scary stories from Halloween?
I have a scary story, not from Halloween.
But I mean,
I guess that's not the theme for tonight.
I mean, I have scary stories occasionally.
Oh,
this guy grew up in a haunted house. So.
I remember when I showed up to work, and I worked for a boy's friend out of my mind on weed and acid for funsies, and the LCO almost fired me for it. Yeah, that's I've done that. But thank God I worked for a brainless job, so I didn't have to actually think.
I once did that accidentally.
Oh, impressive.
But yeah, other than, like, anyone actually have a scary story from Halloween? Like, I remember my sister ran over a black cat on Halloween, and I was in the car with her.
Aww.
And I was like, no,
that's not scary, that's sad.
I had to convince her that it was a good thing because it almost crossed our path, but instead she ran it over.
That's sad.
So it like negated the bad luck, right?
It doesn't give you bad luck.
I mean, like, you always hear about scary stories and ghost stories because this guy's at Abyssal Torment's asking how we try to be scary. I'm just wondering, I've never heard of a scary story actually on Halloween. Like, I mean, I've seen enough movies on it, but I've never actually heard of a real life one.
Yeah, no, my Halloweens have all been...
Like, I've never actually heard of a real Halloween scary story.
The worst that I've had is, like, I watched 2 minutes. Just got a little jumpy.
I mean, yeah, like there's always like, but that's what I mean. You always hear about the movies and stuff, but I've heard many ghost stories in my time, but never around Halloween.
Right? It's weird.
That's why it's like, because like there's so many times where me and my friends would just get, when we were kids, we would just get fucking just hammered and go hang out in the graveyard.
I mean,
and,
that's normal. Let's be honest.
Although that is how I saw the cult, actually, but that wasn't Halloween. That was just another random night. But yeah,
I don't have anything for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
I mean, I skipped class a lot to go and just smoke in the graveyard across the street.
And I used to bang in the graveyard.
Getting mugged on Halloween. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of scary. Just mugging in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think.
Scared.
Yeah, no. Oh, I mean, like, I have scary stories in terms of, like, I was at a party, and it was a Halloween party, and it was, like, 17 or 18. I don't know, sometime when we were in high school. And we were at one buddy's house, and he lived on his own with a friend of ours. And these so we're all metalheads, like huge metalheads. And these 4 guys and a girl who were very preppy looking. I don't know how else to say it. Very well dressed. They were essentially, I'm pretty sure they were just from the high school and they just heard about the party and just came. Very how do I say, they looked like they didn't belong, essentially. This is the easiest way I could say it. They walked into the wrong party, and my buddy came over to me, came up, and he kind of walked over to them in the kitchen because they just walked right through the middle of the party, and everyone, it was like, yeah, that's the best way, posh looking motherfuckers, and like it was like everyone stared at them when they walked in, and they just kind of looked at everyone and just walked into the kitchen, and my buddy who was living there, he got up. And he went over and we could hear him be like, yo, dudes, nothing against you guys, but you just walked into the wrong party. If you guys really don't want to get hurt, you guys should probably leave. And there like, why would anyone hurt us? And they're like, oh, it's not me. Don't worry about me. But there's a lot of people here and a lot of people, and it's just, yeah.
Don't understand what a mental group is like.
Yeah, like a lot of people are unstable, and just like basically just told them nicely, like you walked into the wrong party, and then they nicely left. But it was funny. I still remember it because everyone stared at them. It was like you might as well have just turned off the music. It was like out of a bad movie.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I forget who they were. Man, it's been so long. That was like 13, 14 years ago. I'm so old.
You're not old.
It doesn't matter.
You are.
Exactly. As long as you're young at heart and you eat the heart of a child every year.
Is that the secret
Is
to
that
Keanu
what
Reeves? And
No, you're all doing it wrong. Kalima. You bathe in the blood. That's how you do it.
No, you eat the heart and then you bathe in the blood.
Brother blood. Yes.
Oh.
it's all about bathing in the blood of the innocent. I mean, how else do you think Keanu Reeves does it? Right?
No, man. It's
How do you define innocent?
That's why he's so nice to him all the time, because he gets the nicest people that come to him, and it's Jennifer Aniston.
Is innocent?
Wrong.
No, Hugh Jackman.
Uses
wrong.
Uses the technique.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Or she just used a lot of it, you know.
Chat says we're wrong.
Mhm.
Obviously, they know the secret to life.
You're wrong. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Sacrifice them to gods, the chat gods.
Oh yeah. That's fair too.
Be forever mortalized in death.
Immortalized or monetized?
Dun dun dun.
That's a matter of opinion.
I think both at the same time.
So good.
Or a little bit in.
But yeah, I think it's funny how like so many scary stories have been built up around Halloween, but never actually heard of one in my life. Not a real one. All the scary stories I've ever heard have always been around Halloween. Which is, it kind of makes sense. You always build up something that doesn't happen.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, something.
I mean, you want scary stories not from Halloween?
Go for it. If you got any, go for it.
I got an actual ghost story.
Go for it.
Ooh.
You got some time left.
I used to work in a university pub.
Can I know which one?
I mean, I'm not supposed to know.
Just say the name. Anyways. Was it the Gateway or was it the Den?
The Hub.
Oh, the Hub. Oh,
yeah.
Please. Oh, now I'm really interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole 8 months I was there.
Wait, it's shutting down?
Do we have a time? Do we have a time? Like a date?
Most of last year. Like, I was there September of 2018 to 8 months later.
Okay. Please continue.
So, the whole time I was there, I would often close alone, which sucks. And, well, one of the nights, actually kind of close to Halloween, believe it or not.
There you go.
I was cooking food as I normally do. All of a sudden, all the lights in the kitchen shut off. The only light switch in the whole kitchen is behind the rationale, or like the oven. That's the only light, and the only way to get to said light is to close the door and turn it off.
Okay.
So, I know not super scary, but it happened. And then a ghost burned down the restaurant during that time, too.
A ghost burned down the restaurant. Oh, yeah! By the way, it was a spooky ghost! Totally provable, by the way.
No, like, actually, though, every other night or so, we would always see some random woman in a blue flowered dress go from the, bar into the laundry room. And that she never came out. When we opened the door, she wasn't there, obviously.
Washing
What?
But yeah. So
You might even
we believe that she burned down the restaurant. Definitely not someone who was incompetent at cleaning greasy rags. That definitely was not it.
Oh, I see.
And the dryers caught on fire.
Yes, it was a spooky ghost, wasn't it? This is ectoplasm.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's ectoplasm everywhere.
I was downstairs in our basement getting a bunch of stuff from the dry storage.
I got
the guy I was working with. He decided it was a good idea to wash his hands before leaving.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, he instead of turning anything off, he just went and washed his hands.
Maybe he was possessed.
He could have been the ghost for all we know.
But
I didn't see him after that night.
That actually reminds me, back when I was one thing about our high school is there was a lot of rumors about because it's an old building, it's one of the oldest in the city, and during World War II, it was actually used as an insane asylum for a bit. Or maybe it was earlier than that, because the building was built in the late 1800s, and we always heard about the tunnels underneath that led to City Hall and another giant building nearby that was just as old. And in the AV room, you could actually go down to the basement, and there is a sub basement. and there was actually access to it through the AV room. And one day, because the teacher was actually a pretty cool guy, we convinced him that we wanted to go down there and just shoot some stuff. So he gave us the key, and we went down, and we went down, and in the sub level there was just a bunch of school stuff, and then we saw a door at the end, like another door, and we thought it was just another area of the sub level. Yeah. So we unlock it, and we go down, and the ceiling must have been like, I don't know, like 5 feet high. Like you couldn't really stand up straight. Some of us were short because we're all kids, so it wasn't that bad, but it was like right to your head, right?
Yeah.
And just rows of cages, like just metal, like mesh, and no doors, but there's a chair in each one. And it was an entire hallway of this. And one of my friends actually got a picture of it. And
sorry, describe one more time. I feel like I misunderstood.
So imagine the ceiling's about 5 feet, and it's like a hallway that's maybe like, I don't know, like 10 meters wide. And on either side, you have chainmail, like, or chain link fence, and it's portioned out to individual rooms, and there was a chair in each one, and no door, just like an opening on each one. And one of my buddies, I remember he got a picture of it, and then we kept going, and then you get up to this giant bricked wall, and it looked like it was just bricked over, but it was we still have that. I think my buddy still has that picture. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but that was one of the creepiest things I ever actually seen. So I don't know if there was tunnels, but we always wondered what that room was for, or when that room was used.
Yeah, that's where the bad kids go.
Probably. But yeah, that was always a fun place.
Cool.
Oh, thanks. That's good to know.
Yeah. I won't say where though. No need to know. Yeah. Anyone else have any scary stories before I end this? An observation hall. Yes, an observation hall for the gifted ones.
Or conversion chambers.
What?
I mean, what are those?
Observation cages predating World War II. I'd like to look up more if that's an actual thing. But yeah. So I think, because it's getting close to midnight my time.
Oh, it is.
It is close to midnight.
It's a little close.
We're close? Like 4 minutes off?
4 minutes to midnight. Well, we'll ask. I guess we'll end on this. What's everyone dressing up as, if they are dressing up?
We're not going to dress up.
I'm just going to wear a latex rat mask to work, just to scare my boss, and then wear kitchen clothes.
I'm debating between a Sith Lord elf.
A Sith Lord? So you just...
Why not both?
Right? Elves can be Sith Lords too.
That's discrimination.
It's Coldbeard in the Star Wars universe.
I'm gonna be a Sith Lord elf.
Oh, that's a good costume.
A depressed teen.
How do we know?
Oh, that's a great costume.
I feel like she'd be like a weird Asajj.
Oh, well, Jeremy, you are the one who gets to make these kinds of decisions. So.
Depends on which old one blesses you.
Does
I mean, yeah, right.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna be. I still have some time. I'm thinking.
You have 2 days.
At least I'm not being a fish.
I mean, what's wrong with being a fish?
Fish.
I
Fish
mean,
are friends, not food.
I don't know what I'm gonna
Fish
be.
are sisters.
You know, I could make fun of my Dallas Cowboys and just be a failure, put a bag over my head.
Do it.
Oh,
That's just normal for you, though.
Scorch.
But yeah, I don't know. Thinking one of my favorite costumes I did one year was be a gentleman, wear my top hat and my full suit out, and I had white gloves and everything. But
that could be fun.
I dig it, yeah.
I just got.
I don't know. I still can't think of one.
Dress of the night.
You could.
Yes, Sir Jeremy should dress
Then
as a
that
knight.
wouldn't be a costume.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. It would be thine heritage.
You've taken away a good costume from me.
I mean, but it isn't like.
Well, Jeremy, you could dress as a lord and make yourself feel more important.
There we go.
Just wear like a satin shirt, and that's it.
That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, you don't wear clothes.
The prestige.
In a nice cold Canada winter.
That's the traditional pirate. That's how poor we are.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I guess that was. I'm glad, blah 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 blah.
I don't say blah blah blah.
Well, I think it's good there though.
Sorry,
I'm sorry you had nothing better to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
But I'm
really
glad
sucks
you
that
spent
you
time
couldn't find
here.
something better.
Thanks, everybody. This is C4 Sarah Vike, Insanieac Sir Jeremy, and Kiadin, the Villains Chalk Show. Remember,
Sarah doesn't exist anymore.
remember to follow our social medias at justlikeness.com. Download the app. It's the only way.
Got lots of fun little YouTube videos from before early days.
May you be blessed with likeness. And
I do not stream or do any of that. I'm just here.
Just
get the app. Justlikeness.com. Get the app.
Yeah, exactly.
Justlikeness.com. Join us.
Stop propaganda.
Jeremy.
What?
You're written down as Sir Jeremy.
As he should be.